Yes, broadcast. I
What's
think.
the narwhal? What is the narwhal in here?
It's having an internet problem, my mum's.
Proper mobs. Anyway.
There you go.
Live. We'll live. We'll have to live. Bye.
There you go. See, I had it all set up. See.
Yep.
Had it all ready to go.
Hashtag bring on the narwhal.
This image is now only half representative of the current state of the show.
Well, that's not my fault.
I'm blaming you.
Look,
what else am I going to blame?
She's having internet problems. You blame the narwhal for not having proper internet.
How does it feel to have somebody else with internet troubles?
Well, I don't usually have internet troubles. That's the thing. It's just shit and slow. Like, it's quite stable.
It's stably shit.
It's just shit and slow. Yeah. It's like, it's only since the past 2 weeks I can't play games properly because I've been looking at it, right, and it's really weird. It's like a digital on-off thing that's giving me lag. So, like, it'll be stable for a bit, and then it'll hit 500 to 1,000 milliseconds for a bit, and then it'll switch off and be back to normal, then hit the... It's like an up and downy thing, and it's like a digital signal because it's like a square waveform instead of like a waveform that goes up and down. It's like a square one. It goes then back down again.
Narwhal's in here.
Welcome, my narwhal. My
internet was like messing up, so I hope it's.
We were doing fine before you were here.
Yes.
Whatever.
We haven't been talking that much. We're just saying that you're having internet problems, and that was about
Hashtag all lives matter.
Yeah, but they don't.
I said all lives, not all lives.
No, they don't. No lives matter.
Well, exactly.
Live with it.
I don't know. Narwhals are pretty important.
No, they're not.
That's humbug.
This whole planet's not even important.
We have unicorn horns.
This whole planet is not important.
No, but narwhals are the secret
Holy
to the
shit,
universe.
unicorns exist.
Did Captain Kirk go back in time to get narwhals? No, he went back for humpback whales because they were necessary. I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Yeah,
he didn't understand.
He
didn't understand the importance of narwhals.
Because it wasn't a fucking alien program destroying everything if they didn't get fucking narwhals. It was humpback whales.
It was.
I'm saying narwhals are used.
Yeah, but so is everything. Like, if it wasn't for Kirk wanting to save the planet, then he wouldn't have done it. So he didn't have to do it.
It's a fucking movie, man.
It had no consequence. It had no consequence.
Okay, I've been doing this for fucking 20 years. I can't be arsed anymore. Some of them motherfuckers sell it out.
Yeah. So I can't
I've actually never seen that movie, so I'm not the best person to talk about it.
Star Trek 4.
It's actually not that bad. Although 6 is one of the best. 2 and 6 are the best.
At first I thought you said 6 was the best, and I'm like,
not the new one.
Well, no.
Then I realized you said 6, the number.
6 with Klingons looks pretty rough, actually.
It is. It's supposed to be violent.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. That was the first thing that popped out in my mind when she said 6, and then Star Trek. I was like, yeah, rough Klingon sex. I don't know. That was weird. Apart from the new ones were shit. Don't like them. Not Star Trek.
You haven't seen
no, why would I? Well, the only reason I've seen the two of them, the only reason I've seen the two new ones was the first one I was interested to see what they would do, and it fucking pissed me off. The only reason I seen the second one was because my mate bought it, so I watched it. just because it was sort of there. Like, I've got no interest in seeing them. But though the second one wasn't bad, it still wasn't as good as Wrath of Khan, which it's based on.
Yeah, there's nothing a film can do more to piss me off. It's not be terrible, it's to be boring. Boring is the worst sin. Being terrible can be interesting, but being boring is just...
Well, it's not boring. It
bored me. It's like
a remake of one of the best Star Trek movies. Without being Star Trek. It's missing the bit that made Star Trek Star Trek.
I know what it is.
It's horrible.
What it is, I was not at any point engaged in the film. Right? If I'm not engaged in a film, it's boring me. If I'm bored by a film, it's the worst sin it can possibly commit. The sin of not making me give a fuck about its existence.
Yep.
I mean,
I think the particular film you're talking about is like one that I started but then didn't finish because it was awful.
I can give you a good example, right? Because I recently RoboCop 2014, I think it was 2014, was on television. Now, like most people probably of a certain age, I fucking love the 1987 RoboCop. It is a fucking all-time classic.
Yep.
And I watched it, and I was engaged in the movie, and I thought it was good, but it was like, yeah, it's not bad. It certainly didn't ruin my childhood, because RoboCop ruined my childhood, because, you know, that's what RoboCop's designed to do, ruin your childhood.
Yeah.
Watch RoboCop, you become a man. That's how it works. You no longer have a childhood to ruin. So, but yeah, I thought it was...
for me, actually, it was Terminator.
Well... Again, you see these all good options.
I seen Terminator before. I seen Terminator before I seen RoboCop. So.
Well, the basic point being is that I wasn't bored by the movie. It didn't. I mean, I could see what they're trying to do with it. You had like the Novak report bit with Samuel L. Jackson trying to do the sort of media break in the original film. It just didn't work the same. I didn't hate it. It just kind of just didn't work at all. They could have just got rid of it. It wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever. But when they actually concentrated more on the sort of new stuff, like, see, it reminds me a bit, you know, have you seen Chappie? The one, what's his name? The same guy who did District 9. So it reminded me a bit of Chappie.
Yes.
Obviously, this came out first. The way, like, augmenting, like, human police and operations, in this case it's called a more military operations with robots. So I like that aspect of it, because I like Chappie and I like the way that did. So, if anything, I would have preferred to
hold on. You know, I still gotta watch that movie. I wanted to see it.
Chappie's not bad.
Chappie's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Except for the end.
It's a bit of a mix.
It's
a bit of a mix between. I would say it's a mix between Short Circuit and like a RoboCop type thing.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. It's sort of in between.
All right.
I'm gonna say RoboCop 2014, because RoboCop 2014 has basically the same shit going on, where they show you, like in Tehran, I think it was, like the robots on the street, they're protecting, and the military. It's like, we've never lost a red member, or like, because you basically have they're all like satellite controlled and stuff, and they can target everything, all GPS, and so it's like high priority protected targets, and it's like if some suicide bomber come after them, it's like all the fucking robots are trying to stop them from defending them. That's the idea. So in a way, Chappie, obviously the idea being that you have the sort of robot police who are like frontline, so they go up front. You got the human police behind them, because obviously their robots are expendable and they're also armored and shit. And so they're augmenting the police force. Very similar concepts done in slightly different ways. And of course, that District 9 guy, who I will remember his name eventually, it's all in South Africa again. So South Africa has particularly pertinent law and order problems. Probably quite appropriate for a RoboCop style film at this point.
Yeah, it is, but it's just it's when you know the old one was better. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. They're not.
When you've seen the old one and you know they're better,
well,
and then
no,
you see this one, it's like,
thing,
but like,
that's the,
nah.
this is what I would say is the difference. RoboCop, the original RoboCop, the new one, they're two entirely different films where the newer one just happens to look vaguely similar. If it was not called RoboCop, then I'd be fine with it, and it would not leave a lasting impression on me for 20 odd years as the previous film has. But
RoboCop is Jesus. He's Jesus, everybody.
yes, I know. Shut up.
They've done this with all the movies though, right?
But you
All
got
these fucking
like
stupid remakes.
Star Trek is different because essentially there is an expectation given that they've done it. I mean, obviously they set it up in 2009, so they essentially were saying, look, we're wiping the slate clean, so nothing you've ever seen before ever happens. It doesn't matter. Next Generation, all that time you invested Picard, never happened. If you like Janeway, never happened. If you like Cisco, never happened. If you liked Archer, then that presumably still happened because
It did happen, but that was awful. That was the worst one.
So, out of all the ones that you loved, the one you didn't love the most is the one that only applies still. It's that period.
It's the one that's canon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's like, see this worst one that everyone hated because it was complete crap. That is still canon, but everything else, it just didn't happen. And we're like, but
the reason I brought that up is the reason I heard it is because apparently I was watching the Red Letter Media review, and apparently they have an NX-looking type ship, and the NX class was a sort of experimental class. So apparently that's in Beyond. So there you are. That's there you go. What else could I say? I think I've said everything.
But even the Enterprise looks more like the Enterprise of the NX one that we've seen back then, if that makes sense. It looks like they've took that as a blueprint and modified it slightly. You know what I mean? Sort of like what they've done with the new film Enterprise, and with the blue nacelles, and had that on the Enterprise D. You know what I mean?
I don't.
It's like they've took the blueprint and sort of modified it a bit.
I thought the ship design was perfectly reasonable as as far. I mean, I've been watching the old series on TV.
It is, but it's not the old ship. It's not. It's redesigned, and it's designed more like the NX one from Enterprise.
I don't see it in there. I just don't see it.
It is a wee bit. You just gotta look. It doesn't look like the older ships. It looks more like that one or the D or Voyager. You know what I mean? They've got a look about them.
I have to look it up now to see. So I'm looking at an image of.
They've got like a duller look to them. It's weird, and it's not as rounded and sort of different.
No, they're not even slightly similar. I don't know what crack, because I'm like, is my memory gone? No, they're very different designs. Very different.
No, they are, but they're like, you can like see, if you look at Voyager, right, and you look at the Enterprise E.
I can see that. Yeah, that's all part of the same if you're talking a difference between Star Trek 2009 and Enterprise, well, obviously there's a massive difference, and that's why I was pointing out, because obviously Enterprise is technically the only one that's still part of the continuity.
I think it looks a bit more like that than it does the other one, though. Is what I'm saying.
The Sovereign class, the Galaxy
class.
No,
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the. I'm talking about Kirk's one.
Kirk was the fuck's the name of the class of the vessel? Well, that was obviously the original Enterprise. No A, no B, no C, D, as Scotty said in that episode of TNG.
There was an A. It was Enterprise A.
No, there was an A. That wasn't until.
At least one of them was.
Yes, but that wasn't until 4. The reason why I got it in 4 because they destroyed it. and they took a Klingon bird of prey, and then they saved the whales.
Yeah.
Not the whales, the proper whales. And then, and then, like the Federation forgave them for, basically breaking all kinds of regulations in Star Trek 3 in order to get Spock's capture back into his body.
Doesn't the first Star Trek, from J.J. Abrams take place in an alternate reality where the two reality actually clash? You know what I mean?
Yes,
you got the Spock from the original reality where I'm assuming Cisco and all the others were there. Yeah, right?
No. Well, yeah, well, you mean that was the entire point. It's basically say, okay, look, this film is basically going to be a big action shooter. I know Star Trek's all about this intellectual shit and, space vaginas as the original motion picture is, but come on, people, this is not 1979 anymore. You've got to throw explosions, as many explosions.
But that's not the point.
It's current year. No, at the time.
No,
Star Trek, because we got Leonard Nimoy to come on for a second and say some mumbo jumbo. So it's still Star Trek.
That's not the point, no. That's what annoys me about it, because that wasn't the point in Star Trek in the first place.
I know. That's never going to happen.
You can do that, but you need to do it like the way Star Trek would do it. Like, you would need to sort of run in a Star Trek-y type reason. You know what I mean?
The big problem is that you just action scene. You can't do action the way action used to be done. I mean, you take Wrath of Khan, for example. There isn't actually, when you look at it, really any action at all. It is mostly all about this game of chess that is going on, where the protagonists are never even in the same room. It's not like that. It's not. There's about 3 scenes where they're actually firing at each other, and that's about it, right? Now, you compare that to, as you say, what's his name? Fucking Star Trek, the one which obviously ripped off from Khan, with Benedict Cucumber, whatever his name is. You can see that it's like an action scene every 30 seconds and shit blowing up all over the place, right? It's completely different. Completely different in style and tone, and it will never be the same. I don't think any modern... I don't know if I've heard a lot about the Chinese market is mostly influencing all this shit these days. The Chinese apparently are very big on explosions. I haven't seen a lot of that. Obviously, complicated philosophical concepts like peace and freedom cannot be passed by the Chinese censors. Yes, so all that talky type stuff doesn't really translate into foreign markets. So you dump all that. And you go for the big explosions, because a big explosion don't need no translator. It's just a big explosion crosses all language barriers.
Blame Michael Bay. I blame Michael Bay for this shit.
Oh, Michael Bay's done nothing. If anything, I'd defend Michael Bay. It's not his fault, that's for certain. If you're going to watch complete schlock action, at least get the guy who knows how to do schlock action perfectly to do it. Don't get some pretender.
I should really marathon the entire Transformers movies one day.
No, Transformers is terrible though. The problem isn't.
It's all 4.
I mean, you give him something. I mean, look at Bad Boys, right?
I liked the first Transformers.
Well, I don't know why people. I mean, Transformers is just like there's nothing. You've got to have. You've got to actually be able to see what the fuck's going on for a start. You can't see what the fuck's going. It just looks like 2 Coke cans that have been crushed.
Like super great movies. I enjoyed they started putting out way too many Transformers movies, and they're like, oh, people like this, so we're gonna make 20 of these, and it's like, please stop.
I can't make any bloody sense.
Rubbish though.
I can't make any sense of it, either visually or plot-wise. I mean, when I look at it, I don't know what's going on. I mean, if you gave me a still of a movie frame, I'd be going, I wouldn't know what the fuck's going on. You ask me to watch it, and it's in motion. It's even, that's just made it worse. It's like, if it's possible to have negative knowing what the fuck's going on, you've just pushed me into the negative zone here, right? and then trying to put together this plot. All I know is that the booth is either fucking or not fucking this woman at alternate times depending on what the plot requires. But why are the humans even there? Nobody gives a fuck about the humans unless they're being trodden on.
Well, hold on. You know, did anyone even give a fuck about the humans in 1984? You know, when the shit first came out.
No. What? I didn't give it. Like, oh yeah, Dad. I don't want Optimus Prime. Can I get that little tiny figure of whatever human it was that hung around with him? I didn't know. So I had an old pop-up book. You know, one of those old ones, a cardboard pop-up book of Transformers. I don't know what the fuck happened to that one. I wish I still had it, because that had like a cardboard thing you could like do a fold in and construct, and I think it was Starscream, and you hung that up and shit. It was all made of cardboard. And then there was audio tapes, cassette tapes of audio stories. That was great. And I had a couple of toys as well. But at no point did I ever give a fuck. I must have watched the original show. I barely remember it, but of the things I do remember, it's certainly not any fucking humans. Couldn't give a shit about humans.
You know what? I think that the Transformers were a big part of your childhood, and that's why you don't like the movie a lot. But I'm like, oh, the movie was all right. It really was a big part of my childhood.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I couldn't say that Transformers. I mean, I remember it and I had stuff, but it's a bit like He-Man in a way. It's like I remember it and I have stuff, but you know, bigger parts of my childhood are really things like the ones I really remember, like Defenders of the Earth, the cartoon series there. But no one's ever done a film of that. I mean, technically, they've done The Phantom, they've done Flash Gordon and so forth. But Flash Gordon film from 1981 is fucking awesome, so I'm not going to complain about that. I don't know. Otherwise, most of the stuff I sort of remember. It's like Star Wars. I remember Star Wars, and like I said, I've already talked about Terminator. Robocop. Things you shouldn't know. Things you shouldn't be watching as a child because they're R-rated, but it's the 80s. No one gave a fuck.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. Just fuck. Rewriting these fucking movies with pieces of shit. That's all I want to say. Look, if you've got an idea, make your own characters and blow shit up. Don't care.
They're not going to do that.
Stop refitting this shit and putting some type of nostalgia name on it so you get people to go and see it, and then they'll be like, it's fucking pish.
They
you pieces of shit.
Like, see, with the recent Ghostbusters debacle, the real problem that Sony made there was not figuring out whether because the whole thing about the Chinese market saying, well, it's got ghosts in it, so we're not going to do it. It's like I say, I've been reading a lot about this stuff. It's basically China nowadays. If you don't like the films you're getting,
no, I know.
China's fault. And Chinese people are ignorant because they haven't watched all this shit.
They didn't get all this good stuff. Exactly. I know. I understand, right? But
we're suffering because of it.
But why not just do it without doing it that way? Why not just have it? Well, why do remakes?
Because they know.
Don't say it just because China.
No. But the point, why do you do a remake? Okay, you got two options, right?
Money.
Both options you hope lead to money. You've got two options. One, you can take a risk in a new thing that you don't know whether it's going to be successful because it's a new thing that you've never done before. Or two, you can take a chance on a thing that worked in the past. And why do you choose option number two? You choose option number two because you're safe and you're a massive pussy and you don't want to get fired. And also you
I don't mind some remake.
But when are you going to you're going to run out?
When things are like old, and then I want to see it do an update and stuff if they can do it.
Yeah, but it's always ruined. No, the point is most of the time they ruin it because they're shit.
They've redone King Kong about 4 or 5 times at this point, I think, since the 1930s.
Yeah, they've got Godzilla as well.
Well, the Godzilla remake one, right, wasn't that great.
Planet
it wasn't,
of the Apes has been redone.
Horrible, but like, it wasn't that great.
Planet of the Apes.
That also was done. It's not that it was horrible. It was like it wasn't like like horrible. It was just weird as hell.
Which one? You talking about the one Tim Burton?
Planet of the Apes remake. Where
Well, there's two.
not when they were like here on Earth or something.
Well, there's kind of two because
yeah, there's
Do you mean the
I'm
two?
talking about the one where they had the weird monkey sex and they jumped on the ceiling and they had that little chimp and like come down.
I think that
And
was
he
a
was
Tim
their
Burton.
said
I think that was Tim Burton. Because that's just like. So that's like, that came out in like 2001 or whatever, and then it wasn't until, what was it, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which was...
Yeah, no, hold on. 2011 was the first, it was the first one that came out. 2013 or 14, the second, and the third is coming out next year, I think.
Yes.
They're having a third one?
Specifically.
They ones were fine. No, they ones were fine. Well, they were okay. But the first one,
Tim Burton, look at Planet of the Apes, Tim Burton, had fucking...
Was it that one? That was fucking awful.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Is that the one that I'm talking about? Is the one that he did? Because I don't know who did that Planet of the Apes.
Tim Burton, if that's the one you're talking about.
It's like the monkeys looked great. Everything looked really nice. It was just really weird. I'll call you Narwhal. Is the ending where where the guy finds himself, in a world like ours where everyone's a monkey? Well, yeah, he comes down and he crashes into like the Abraham Lincoln monkey.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That one I like the way that the apes looked, and then everything else was really weird. And then he had
the story was.
Okay, look. I will be honest. I watched all 5 of the originals. I only liked the first one.
The originals go off the fucking but it's kind of quite now.
They do. The last of the originals completely fucking. Wow.
That they did it. I mean, you don't get crazy. I mean, that's some crazy ass fucking shit. What was that? Was the last one the one where they had the sort of underground atomic?
Yeah, hold on. Number 2. Hold on.
Their mind.
Deus Ex. That was number 2. All right. The Planet of the Apes 2. Where I forget his damn name, but he and the girl that he rescued. They go around the desert. Yeah, they go around the desert. They find this cult where let us worship a nuclear warhead or something. There's a button to end the world. They end the world, but they end the world. But
it's
apparently,
Eddie Foley.
I think it was Planet of the Apes, the one with the underground people who had revolved their mind.
Yeah, it was number 2.
I thought that was later.
No. See, hold on.
The later one.
Here it goes. Okay,
the real later ones went. The real later ones went all fucked up where there was humans and apes living together, and the apes or the humans were the underclass, or the slaves or whatever, and it was still in our world, like it was in our time period, and it was just fucking weird.
Yeah, but see, hold on. Look. Look. Here's the thing. The second movie ended, with the guy blowing up the world. The third movie, makes sense that the 2 scientists somehow built a ship and managed to escape in time to go back in time to our world. You know what I mean? It was like 2 scientists. The two scientists you meet in the first movie. And someone else, they crash land here. They're kept in a zoo until they decide to talk. I gotta watch those movies again because they were terrible, but somehow enjoyable.
Yeah. The first one was definitely the best.
Oh, obviously.
Because that end image of
off me, you damn
the Statue of Liberty, and the end shot of the Statue of Liberty.
Spoilers! What are you doing?
Which is great. Come on, spoilers for a movie that was made in 1960.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I think it was 1968.
There we go.
Yeah. It's like,
yes.
you finally done it, you mad bastard.
You blew it up.
Yes, they did, and it was probably. It's probably going to happen soon, according to people that don't like Trump. Seemingly, Trump is the one that's going to do it. So.
You know what's funny? You know.
Within his final form as a gorilla, is that Harambe? Trump is Harambe.
Yeah.
That's Trump is Harambe.
No, you want to.
That's why they shot Harambe, because it is Trump. And they're obviously
okay. Well, look. You want to know something funny about the
spirits has gone into Trump. And this is
Did you hear that? I seen that. I think that's a complete joke, right? So they're trying to say that Trump was asking, why don't we just nuke them? Now I don't think that's what Trump was saying. To be honest, I think they're just saying that because they're fucking. I don't believe the media.
Anyways, as I was trying to say, as I was getting back to Planet of the Apes, in one of the movies, they found out that the two scientists going back, it's actually what caused all the dogs, the cats and dogs, to die. Thereby forcing the people, to use apes as slaves and pets. Where the two scientists.
This is silly because ferrets exist.
Well,
I don't think we would just. Yeah, but I don't think we would just. That's like the silliest thing ever, though, because I don't think we just turn to apes for pets. Apes are dangerous pets.
Michael Jackson already had a fucking ape. You had that chimpanzee Bubbles, for Christ's sake. A chimpanzee will rip your fucking face off. They will. They're incredibly strong. It's not a good idea to have a chimpanzee as a pet.
Hey, Michael Jackson had a monkey as a pet, and he.
Yeah, but that fucker's crazy.
What did I literally just said? Yeah,
I didn't hear you. Sorry, buddy.
Basically, you can only have females, and they have to be raised domestic. They have to be raised in captivity because there's no
domestically. Yeah.
Even a female could rip your fucking head off, but they're just more docile than the males. The male, you
docile,
fucking
a male will just fucking fuck you. Basically, literally, the male will fuck you.
It'll rip your face
probably
off.
In half.
Fuck the eye hole, yeah.
Well, I'll just feel, that looks like a good hole.
If you've ever seen a chimpanzee in any media or whatever, it's a female chimp. No ifs nor buts. You would not get a male chimp anywhere near.
I've been to the zoo and trust me, the males are aggressive fucktards. Like they fucking do weird mad shit. So.
No.
Well,
man, I've really got to watch Planet of the Apes, the remake again, the 2011 one, because I don't know, I love it. I watched that movie.
That's the Planet of the Apes. That's the Rise of the Planet Apes. The Planet of the Apes is 2001.
No, hold on. Look.
That's the awful one.
The remake is also called Planet of the Apes. The second one is Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Okay, is this an alternative title? Because the one I've got on my DVD says Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Hang
the
on
next one is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So it might be.
Okay.
It's Dawn. It's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
So I was right. Planet of the Apes 2001, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes 2011, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes 2015.
Because they wanted to stay away from the name Planet of the Apes.
I succeed, Mike. I succeed
because of the 2001 one.
Probably, yeah.
I succeed.
The 2001 one went so badly that they just didn't want to name it that anymore.
Right?
Probably not a million miles.
No, it did. It was fucking awful. So it's probably going to happen with Ghostbusters as well. It'll be Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters or something. Will be the new one. Right? You're never.
Actually,
from 2016, you're never going to have one.
I actually just saw James Rolfe, the infamous misogynist who refused to do a review of Ghostbusters 2016, has somehow accept the challenge of doing a review of the cartoon series, which is quite interesting because I remember that series. But I think, like a lot of things, like Americans don't realise this. They would have got like all of the series, but it tends to be the case over here. Like the TV channels might buy a couple of the series. There might be more out there, but they never buy them, so you never see them over here. So I think we only got like the first 2 or 3 series of Ghostbusters. The real
we
Ghostbusters.
got loads, man, because I used to come home. I used to come home and watch it on was it TV? I used to come home from school and catch it.
I thought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I thought they ended when they fought the Techno Giants underground.
Sorry, like for some reason my internet just died.
I found out.
Reboot your router and boot it back up then.
I found out years later that there was only 3 series that were ever shown on the BBC, and there was 8 more of the motherfuckers, right? Out there. 8 more series at least, right? So I can imagine the real Ghostbusters probably only showed about 3 series as well. Because I certainly don't remember some of the... for example, I've got the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 DVD set, and they include as bonuses the first episode of the animated series, which basically picks up right at the end of the film, and it's actually a really good fucking one as well, where the
end of what film?
Ghostbusters, right? So you hear the Ghostbusters all
the
covered.
first one.
Yeah,
Right, and I'm just wondering if it was the second film or the first one.
What part of did I say Ghostbusters 2? Did I say Ghostbusters 2? Because if I'm talking about Ghostbusters 2, I'm going to talk about Ghostbusters 2.
I'm just clarifying, man. Shut up.
It's
I'm getting my brain in the right
At
position.
the end of Ghostbusters.
Right, so at the end of Ghostbusters, the animated series takes over, and it shows you what happens after.
The first episode is they come into the firehouse with their clothes covered with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and they take them off and put on new ones, which is where you get the different coloured clothes from. And then the ghostly... Yes?
There's an echo from somewhere.
Well, it's echo from everyone, technically, because I've heard myself coming back. Everyone else.
Yeah, I know, but it's someone. I don't know. So, can someone mute themselves to see where it's coming from?
Probably.
I think it's Twilight. I think it is. There we go. That's it.
So yes,
it was just annoying me.
Ghostbusters related. So yes, in the first episode, basically.
I apologise.
It's fine.
The old clothes. Basically, they have all this Stay Puft Marshmallow essence on them, and they become ghost versions of the Ghostbusters. And they have to fight them. It's a really good episode, and I do remember seeing it as a kid. It's like when I saw this one, it's like I definitely remember seeing this. So obviously, I'd seen the first one. And the other one they have is one I don't remember because it had a different entrance scene. Yeah, the title screen was different and everything. And this one came out after the Ghostbusters 2. So the whole thing was they show the episodes that linked into them. So the second episode they got on the extras of the DVD is basically after they fought, was it Vigo the Scourge of Carpathia?
Yeah.
So they have that as well, and I didn't recognise the title screen. So I reckon. So what? So the TV series started like 1986.
Maybe we only got
the film. I think we only got like 3 seasons most, because I think
maybe.
Like, see, again, we get fucked over because like Americans just like accept.
Yeah, no.
We get all of them. No, I don't think we did. So.
And some of the times they aren't even in. Sometimes they aren't even in sequence.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes they aren't even in sequence.
I'm considering seeing whether I get older DVDs. I'd quite like to see them again because I do have fond memories. And after seeing James Rolfe's assessment of them and having the ones I do already, I think I'd probably agree with what he's seen. It's like they're actually really, really well done because not every cartoon is well done, right? You look at like. I mean, people love Transformers and He-Man and shit, but the original cartoons are pretty crappy quality, right? But these ones, I mean, like I say, I watched it when I got the DVD box set like a couple of years ago, and it's like, yeah, it still holds up. I mean, it's good quality and it's good writing, it's good voice work, and it's Ghostbusters, and it's done well. I mean, it's like you
Yeah.
imagine if they're gonna do if you're gonna do another film, it's like again. This is why I want to. Why don't DC get
They
the
could have
people
took these scripts. This
Yeah,
is the
I mean,
thing.
it's the-
Why not just take these scripts? What the fuck's their problem? Why did they need
I
to
know.
make? See, this is the
I,
thing.
I didn't
They've
ever
got
watch the
good
animated
scripts. They just
version, but
This is
it's called the real Ghostbusters.
This is the other thing. It's like
well, I watched the
Okay.
movies. I just didn't see the animated stuff, and I still haven't.
Yeah,
with-
the animated stuff's called the real Ghostbusters. That's what they named it. The real
Oh.
Ghostbusters.
it's because of the Filmation. Filmation had a Ghostbusters television series, and they were in talks apparently with Columbia at the time before they got absorbed by Sony to produce the Ghostbusters based on the film series. But instead, what happened is they produced their own Ghostbusters series based on their previous Ghostbusters television show. And then there was another Ghostbusters series based on the film, which became the real Ghostbusters. In other words, we're not that fake ass motherfucking shit with a gorilla. Apparently, Harambe, yes, Harambe was in Ghostbusters, Filmation's Ghostbusters. And they were released at
Fucking
basically
hell.
at the same time. Well, all of this stuff is in James Rolfe's video, because that's where I got. Because
This is what they should have done. This is what they should do now. Now that we've got this abomination, now they should just call it the real Ghostbusters and just like do it properly. That's what they should do. And just
that could work.
Sony should just go. This never happened. This never happened. So we're making another movie and we're going to call it the real
Were they trying to greenlight it
Ghostbusters.
they were trying to greenlight it though for Ghostbusters 2.
Are they?
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, no, but
Well, that's what they
yeah, but
said,
no one's
yeah.
going to see it.
But like they didn't make any. Well, I know that they didn't like break
Greenlighted.
even though there was. I don't know if you guys saw an article saying that the
It would need to make
it's
5
not
million
officially they're
to
like Ghostbusters remake
500.
now officially not a flop, but it's still a flop
500
because
million.
It just made back its production.
Yeah,
didn't-
make it back.
They didn't take into account the marketing money spent. Like
Yeah, when I saw that, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Look, a
I know
a
it's out.
film that's expected. I mean, okay, Batman vs Superman easily made back his production. It's still considered a disappointment. Why is it considered a disappointment? Because it didn't make a billion, right? And they wanted $1 billion in order to say, look, we got a secure Justice League type universe set up. And it's because Sony wanted to do the same thing, right? Sony wanted to have a Ghostbusters universe. They want a Spider-Man universe.
Yeah,
They're fucking all this shit up, right? They're doing incredibly poorly.
they are.
They wanted a Ghostbusters franchise universe, right? They wanted to have spin-offs and shit.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they needed this movie to be a massive success. It is not a massive success. Saying, oh, right, well, to the exact penny, based upon the estimated budget, because it's not like they actually put their financials out there and say, look, this is every penny we spent, we're just going to put it out there to the public, because Hollywood is incredibly transparent about their accounting. So, let's be real here, people. This is a fucking disaster financially.
Come on, come
yes,
on.
very much
Like, can we just look? They had the marketing campaign is one of the most spent marketing campaign on a movie so far that I know about. Right? They took over Waterloo Station. They put a Stay Puft Marshmallow coming out of the fucking ground. Right? They had slime. They had slime running down the fucking pillars. And
I would have had
and
to have
that was just Waterloo Station.
I mean, I could have popped.
Yeah, this
over
is what they had.
going on, but I had no idea. I would have
Yeah,
gone over there and taken pictures otherwise.
No, well,
that's
there
pretty-
was slime coming down. There was slime
Let's
coming
do that
down the
now.
pillars. There was a big Stay
could've seen
Puft
it.
Marshmallow coming out the
You should have taken
ground.
pictures more.
I don't live near Waterloo. What
No,
the fuck?
I do
Oh,
though.
well, I thought like
No,
Yeah, he
I thought Wendy
does.
saw
He
it in
does.
person.
That's what I'm saying to him.
Mm-mm.
He should have told me.
I heard about it.
Right?
Yes. No, I heard about it later. I don't know how long it was there for. I just heard about it.
This is the important point. Everyone's failed to tell me the necessary information at the right time.
Well, you failed to find out this information, man.
I didn't care about the fucking.
But at any rate, how much would it have cost for them to do that in Waterloo?
Probably, I'm gonna estimate 100 grand.
I'd say probably more than that. I'd go as far as $1 million.
Nah,
Because they took over the whole station. How many people would have to be working on that? That's a lot of money. Right, and then you have to pay. Not only do you have to pay the Waterloo station, right, to take over that area, right? You'd have to pay the council. The London isn't cheap, right? You'd have to pay them. You'd have to pay people that own the Waterloo station. It's going to cost a lot of money.
I don't think you'd have to bother with the council. Probably just the station. But your point is taken. Probably not.
You know what I mean?
I think
I don't know. I'm thinking probably like 300 to 400K. I do not think $1 million. And it
but the
depends
movie
on how
hasn't
long they had
even
it
made
there.
that here.
Because it would.
Right,
Yeah.
but that was only in Waterloo Station. What else did they have? What else did they have about the world? That's just one station. What did they have in New York?
They're putting it on everything. At least where I live, they're like, oh, back to school stuff. Let's slap a bunch of Ghostbuster stuff all over it. And this was like when the movie was just released.
Exactly.
They're just slapping Ghostbuster
And I'm
stuff
just
on.
wondering how much all that cost. I'm guessing it probably cost, if not the same as the movie production cost, or more.
I just know I
Easily.
keep having to avoid all the Ghostbuster merchandise. Like, I don't want this crap.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I remember when they had God knows why. I think it was coming out of the Ghostbusters too. But I remember I had this fucking glow in the dark fucking thing with Ray Stantz on it for some reason.
Slimer, was it?
No, it was Ray Stantz. It was some
glow in the dark Slimers and stuff.
It was some round. I think it was supposed to be part of this game thing. Fuck knows what happened to it. Fuck knows it's one of those pieces of shit you get out of cornflake packets, right? It's just like, but that's a strong memory, very strong memory. I don't think I had any Ghostbusters toys actually, strangely enough.
You want to know something though?
Yeah.
With the whole Ghostbusters thing, I just realized because I looked over at my daughter, they've been throwing this stuff in everybody's faces. My daughter, who's 8 years old, has showed zero interest in it. Zero. She shows interest in other movies and things when she sees advertising for them. And zero interest. Yeah. I just want to point. They have completely failed to capture my daughter's interest.
What interest has she shown?
Well, if there's some movie that she wants to see, like Zootopia, man, she saw
Zootopia, right? You see, I can see that. That is a wide demographic.
Yeah, she saw that. She wanted to see that. We took her to go see that movie. The Ghostbusters stuff has been everywhere. She's seen these advertisements for the movie. Zero interest. She hasn't talked about it. She doesn't want to see it. Not like she does other movies and things. Which is hilarious.
Because it's not for kids. Even the first Ghostbusters wasn't really aimed at kids.
No, I mean that's the thing. I'm pretty sure it would have been a PG at the time, but this is a PG in 1984.
I know. I'm pretty sure it was a 15, was it not?
I thought that this was aimed. I thought that this was aimed for families and stuff. That would be my thing.
Well, the modern one would be.
What was the old Ghostbusters?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The modern one.
Was it 15 or 12?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's not a PG.
12 did not exist, so it would have been a PG because it wouldn't have been a 15. So
well, even a PG though.
I'm just gonna get my fucking DVD. There we go. Problem solved.
Right, and when you're doing that, I'm gonna end the YouTubes. So we have other things to talk about. There's Comcast and there's No Man's Sky.
I will actually put this on video. So there we go. You can see the PG rating. If you want to present that, so the whole world can see the proof that this is in fact a PG, and I do in fact own a copy of Ghostbusters on DVD. You can see that is PG.
There we go.
There we go.
Why is it doing that? There you go.
Absolute proof.
That was a naked man.
Well, I'm not
Right,
repeating that.
I'm not going to stop the